Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 3, Episode 31, Fimi X8 SE 2020, and more updates. How is everyone doing tonight? We got a lot of people in here, so I want to go ahead and make sure we get everyone greeted. And you got me tonight. You got back-to-back solos, okay? Hey, you know, we'll work through this here, okay? Got a lot to cover tonight. Got an absolute jam-packed show, so we'll get to it here in a second. Let me go ahead. I want to make sure we get everyone greeted as we go into this. I think that's the only thing for me. I want to keep track of the chat and see who's in there and interact with you guys as well and do the show. And it's easier when I have some co-hosts. But be that as it may, no problem. We can get this handled here. So let me get this chat popped out. I don't know why it didn't. Okay. All righty. Here we go. All right. Pop out that chat. All right. Let's see here. Drone shots. Hot Rod in Daytona. Gene Fox is in the house. Steve Fox is in the house. Steve Mack is here. Hi, Steve. Sam Burns is here. Jay Bird Drone. Welcome, Jay Bird. Steve Mack and Michael Wright. Want to thank you all. Oh, Albuquerque Quadcopter is here. Drone lovers of the world. Let's see who else we got in. All right. Okay. All right. Like I said, we got a full schedule here tonight. We got a lot to talk about. So, I just wanted to kind of start off with some news and updates. Now, you've been hearing an awful lot about what's going on down here in Florida, and I wanted to give you the straight scoop because, you can hear things on the media and and all this. This is what I know. This is what I know is going on right now. All right. Now we are higher. We are probably the epicenter here in the United States right now. And the main reasons for that, okay, testing is up. Okay. I will say that. And the average age now of those testing positive is 34 years old in the state of Florida, okay, which tells everybody a lot of this is coming from millennials going to crowded bars, not practicing social distancing, not using masks, okay? That's pure and simple what's going on here, guys, all right? I just wanted to make sure that you get the skinny on all that. And the other thing is this, it affects the channel and it affects me because, one of the things, and also too with the potential for unrest and civil unrest and things, I've kept it close to home. And Valerie and I have kept it close to home. In fact, I did something, guys, that I haven't done since March. I got gas in my truck this weekend. I haven't got gas in my truck since March, okay? Who can believe that? I mean, seriously. That's just absolutely crazy. Stephen Ewing, welcome, my friend. I hope things are doing well for you this evening over there. It was just so funny. I mean, it was like a complete, and then I go to look at the price of gas and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It was like $1.99. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. I was waiting to hear Rod Serling and some Twilight Zone music kind of stuff. So yeah, not enforcing the rules. Yeah. Hot Rod in Daytona. Yeah, I know. It's, and so, and, I'm not saying this to be political. President was on tonight, had his task force meeting. It was just him, though. Said it's going to get worse before it gets better. So we got to ride the storm out. All right. So pure and simple, Valerie and I are buckling down. We're keeping it close to home. I'm only doing flying from my yard. I'm not going out. I had done my test, one of my tests for my RC car buggy truck that I'm going to be putting together, and the video is going to be coming out on this weekend. You guys will like that, so stay tuned for that. Okay. Hey, Lauren, glad to see you're here as well too. The other thing that I wanted to say is this: it's been unbelievably hot, not only here in Florida, but across the United States. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see here, and now keep this in mind. Now this is just I'm going to share here for the state of Florida for right now what temperatures were in the state today, and so you guys can get an idea. Okay. 85, 90 here in Tampa, 90 in Orlando, 85 in Jacksonville. So, pretty much, and with heat indexes, and the other thing with Florida, guys, you got to realize you have to take heat indexes into account here. So it's almost always well over 100. And when the temperature's in the mid 90s, that pushes it up to about 110 degrees. So, and we're going to talk about heat here in a few minutes, especially, with our passion, with our hobby here. All right. As far as everything else, I wanted to share one other thing. As far as a news segment is concerned. Now, you guys know Sally French, okay? I've had her on, several times. Just a great ambassador for drones. You can't get any better than Sally. She's just absolutely fantastic. She's got a Mavic Air too, and she's loving it, and she's having a great thing. She had a great article out there today that I wanted to share this with you, okay? Most people automatically think that the United States or North America is the largest drone market in the world. Well, you know what? It's not, all right? And it really came as a shock to me. And you can see right here, the largest is Asia. Now, 11.82. Now, I'm not sure what these numbers translate to. And Asia is now 17.89. Now, you got to take into account, you look at what these maps and what they represent. So, this is what that is. I just thought this was an interesting piece of news here, considering, everything, all the hubbub about drones here in the United States. So they're even more popular in Asia at this point, but I don't know. Again, data can be manipulated any way you want, but it's an interesting take on things. All right. I thought that was something that was interesting here. Now, one of the things that we got some more news about Skydio that I wanted to share, and I wanted to kind of start off things. We're going to spend a considerable amount of time talking about Fimi X8 tonight. Got a lot of information I want to pass on about that. But Skydio 3 and Skydio 2. Skydio 3, Bill. Okay, well, Drone DJ had an article about Skydio 3, and we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get that up. Now, this is just, they're kind of talking, what to expect here, kind of a thing from Skydio. And, it's going to come, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. But, you got to think with the success of Skydio 2, that led to be able to get that capital infusion to do the X2. That's going to be great for the military and first responders, and this is going to lead to the Skydio 3. Now, one of the things, it's a good article here. Now, they said what to expect, and improved battery life, improved camera, increased range, a foldable design, even better objects avoidance, and what we want to see. And I can tell you right now, this is something I would want to see, and it would almost make me automatically say yes to it as a new controller, because I'm sorry, that was probably, to me, as far as the physical hardware was concerned, that was the weak link for me, what was the controller. They also talked about a 1-inch sensor as well too. So now the other thing with Skydio here, now this article was on Drone DJ, is Skydio 2 will get that super zoom, precision mode, and vertical view that I shared with you guys last week, which is really interesting. These things are going to be able to come down to the Skydio 2 when they really didn't say, you can go out on Drone XL and see if Hey, post any updates to this or not. But, again, this is really interesting news. And I think that's something that we want to try to maybe kind of keep up with here. So I just wanted to give you some updates on that. It just seems, Skydio is one of those drones that can kind of grow on you. And I know from, Marcus's experience and Ron's experience, they've really liked it. They've had good experiences with them. Some really, like I said, there's a couple of drone reviewers who sold theirs, and because it wasn't meeting their needs for them, which is fine. Okay, they really had no complaints, but it wasn't what they wanted and for what they were getting here. All right. With humidity also comes a dry, it's dry as all heck in here because the air conditioner's running like crazy. What can I say? You know, now, one of the other things with all this, yeah, Skydio 2 is still a YouTube drone. Yeah. Drone Addict, gimbal pitch adjustment, and yeah, you're probably right on that score. That's for sure. Pull the trigger on that smart controller, FSU graded. Yeah, you got DeMarco. I got to tell you, my friend, you need that. That is just an absolute must. I mean, Marcus hit the buy button. Okay, you need to do the same, my friend. We'll vouch for you. If you can make it down to Florida, I do have an extra spare bedroom. In case you get kicked to the curb for a week or two. So you're welcome to come down to Marco. It's not a problem. You're not making this any easier for me. Well, that's my intent. Okay. That's great. That's great. All right. Well, we're going to kind of switch gears here, and we got a lot to talk about with the Fimi X8 SE 2020. I mean, an awful lot to talk about. There's a lot of developments on this. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you guys, and I found this to be this was pretty phenomenal. All right. I wasn't expecting this, but let me get the screen up here, and I got to show. This is absolutely insane here. Okay, who knows what Banggood's going to do and when they do it, kind of stuff. All right, right now you can get a Fimi X8 SE 2020, 2 batteries, and a storage case for $479. And if you look at the options that are checked. It's immediate in stock processing time, ships in 24 hours. That's from the U.S. warehouse, guys. It really doesn't get any better than that, okay? I mean, if I had to spare $479 right now, guess where that would be going, okay? I can tell you that right now. Yeah, even with the one that I got, because I tell you what, this Fimi X8 SE 2020 is the real deal. And I'm starting to fall in love with it more than the Mavic Mini. And I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit as well too. But I did post a link in the it's pinned. It's in the description in tonight's broadcast. It's also on the pinned comment, and I also posted it in the chat. So if you guys are interested, please to take advantage of that. Please, that would be. You guys would be getting it. That's an incredible deal. 2 batteries. I mean, those batteries, my gosh, I've been waiting. I have 2 and I'm waiting for a third. And it's probably going to be a total of about maybe 90, probably about over 100 days total shipping time for that third battery. And the case, I'm still waiting on my case. But this is, like I said, this is a great deal. I highly recommend looking at this. I can't say that enough, guys. This is just. It's just too good to pass up. It really is. I can't. It's wow. I'm kind of speechless and I'm kind of tongue tied because that's exactly what it is. It's just too good. Now it's kind of funny because all this it comes on the heels of Banggood playing games with their the U.S. warehouse kind of stuff, and like I said with me, I ended up ordering from the Chinese warehouse and I got it faster and I ended up canceling my order from the U.S. warehouse. Now look what they're doing. You can get them from the U.S. warehouse with 2 batteries and a case for $479. I mean, that's an absolute total no-brainer, okay? Those cases are probably about $35 to $40. Batteries probably about $80, $85, plus you figure shipping into things. Guys, for that's just an incredible deal. I would not hesitate to get that in any stretch, way, shape, or form here. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I think this is important. And now, we just had a firmware update for the Fimi X8 SE 2020. They've had batteries for $60 US warehouse for a while. Okay, Ken, that's good. I hit the button, but trying to build the secret fund, though these are hard times for the Mavic Air 2. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Stephen. I mean, we're going to talk about the Mavic Air 2 here in a minute. But with all that being said, one of the other things that I wanted to bring up tonight was the latest firmware update. Now, it's real interesting. All right, I went out, I got my batteries charged up. I was getting ready to go out and do my flight that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a lot of that footage. You're going to see, this is a spoiler alert, coming up this weekend. I have my full-on review for the Fimi X8 SE 2020. You're going to like it, guys. I really put a lot of effort into it. I'm going to be putting the video together the next day or two, and it should be out Thursday or Friday. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great video. But one of the things that I found out, all right, I went ahead. Now I downloaded the latest firmware update on battery number. I'm going to want to preface this. I was on battery number 1 when I did this. All right, battery number 1. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share here what the latest updates are, because I think this is important. I think you guys need to know this information here. All right. Now, the latest firmware update, you can see 2020-0709, optimize possible downloads, gimbal vibration, fix some known bugs. 2020-0709, camera firmware, optimize image white balance, fix some known bugs. All right. Let me tell you something. All right. I get out there, it's calm. I don't have winds out there. Now, that's been a rare occurrence lately. When it gets like this in Florida, it's the winds get really wonky down here, and they've been wonky the past couple of weeks, and it's been difficult to impossible to get out to fly, even with my DJI drones. But it was calm, so I had a window of opportunity, and I take advantage of that. I tell Valerie, I said, let me know when it looks calm outside so I can go out and fly. And she was right. So sure enough, I was ready to go. Batteries are charged. Let's get outside. All right, firmware update. So I'm sitting there, I'm doing the firmware update. All right, boom, done. Put the propellers back on. You get everything set up. Go outside. I go to take off. Now, this is with battery number 1. I go to take off, and what do I see? As soon as I take off, as soon as I get above the tree line, horizon. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. All right. Because I just done my last video. There was no problem with this. Okay. So I said, I got an idea here. Went out, back in the house, landed, went back in the house, got my other battery, put it in, fired it up, did not do the firmware update, took it out for a nice long flight. That horizon was like that. All right. It was the way it was supposed to be. So my advice, this firmware update, don't download it. Okay. I don't know which one. My guess is probably the camera, but who knows? Camera firmware, but who knows? And one of the things that I talked about this last week, and I can't say this enough, guys. I wish Fimi would have a process to be able to, go back to the previous firmware update, an easy process, because theirs is involved right now. You have to email them support@fimi.com, and they send you a couple of files and they give you instructions on how to do this. And, it's not like it should be a lot easier. They should be out on their website. Okay. Click to download this firmware update to roll it back, kind of a thing. It should be fairly straightforward and easy. So Fimi, if you're listening, I think that would really kind of help things here if you guys did this. I mean, it makes sense, guys. Am I right here? Doesn't it make sense to you that we could roll these things back and it would be much easier for everybody to do that? I mean, I don't know. With that, all right. Now that's a caution for you guys. That I'm telling you that for right now. I would definitely not do this update because battery number 2, I didn't do it, and it's fine. So I can hardly wait till I get battery number 3. So, I can have at least 2 batteries that I can use without any having to worry about that horizon issue, because I'll tell you what, it's a real pain in the butt. All right. It's just to me, I think it's something that I wish they can do. Mikey is in the house. Good to see you here tonight, Mikey. And everybody, stay tuned for the Philly and Ron show, probably about 9:10 tonight Eastern time. Gotta love Mikey. Gotta love your channel, my friend. Absolutely gotta love your channel. All right, we're still talking about the Fimi X8 SE 2020 here. All right, good news. Marcus was tied up tonight, but I wanted to go ahead and share. His is on its way. He was extremely patient. He ordered his right around the same time I originally ordered mine, and his is coming from the U.S. warehouse, which really isn't a surprise now, because apparently what happened, they got their shipment in probably over from China, and they probably had that special, this summer special that Banggood is running with the 2 batteries in the case. So, and again, if you haven't made the buying decision to get the Fimi X8 SE 2020, that's a good reason to do that here, guys. I can't say that enough. I mean, that's just incredible. The review that's coming out. This is a spoiler alert, okay? Big spoiler alert here, kind of a thing. This isn't like the Star Wars trailer or anything here, but I've wanted to kind of give you a little preview of things. You would think one of them would have it on file to request the other one. Yeah, Stephen, exactly. Stephen Ewing, yeah, exactly. It makes sense, all right? It makes sense for them to have that out there for you to be able to download it and be as easy as like DJI, all right? Now, I got to say this, from my experience with Fimi and with Hubsan, Fimi is a lot better than Hubsan. That's all I'm going to say, all right? Hubsan is a piece of work. All right, let's just leave it at that. Okay. Gene Fox, so far I've been lucky and done all the updates. Thing I've not done was a gimbal calibration. Okay. One of the things I can recommend, Gene, for me, and this is just from DJI experience, anytime I've done a firmware update, I always do an IMU calibration. Now, there's no IMU calibrations on the Fimi X8 SE 2020. And I always go ahead and do a gimbal calibration as well after that. And when I get outside, I do a compass calibration. This is automatic. This is something I do after every firmware update, because it's just second nature to me. That's something that I do want to take care of. Now, I did go ahead out and we did talk last week about SD cards. I think I've gotten a little bit more follow up on that. But I think that issue's kind of gotten taken care of a little bit there, so that's good to see in terms of that. So I'm real pleased about that. But with this, with this horizon tilt, the 2018 model has been notorious for this horizon tilt. It's just been absolutely crazy. The review is coming up now. It's going to be. One of the things, I'm going to tell you what I don't cover here, okay? And what I don't cover are the follow me and the tracking functions here. And the reason I don't do that is I don't have the physical room to be able to fly the drone and do a track me right now with COVID-19 and our restrictions and everything right now. That's just not possible for me to do that. I will do that. But one of the things that I can tell you, and I've seen from some people on the forums themselves, Sam, the next update running on mine and work state. Okay, Sam, that's great. I mean, I'm real happy for you. I'm just super skeptical, because as soon as I did that, boom. So I'm going to keep that one battery the way it is for me for right now. I'm going to wait to see what happens with that third battery and end up what I'm doing. Go to the swamp, Bill. Only alligators out there. Yeah, you're probably right. And well, I gotta say this. I won't get any hassle from them. All right. It's like, that's for sure. As long as they're not hungry, I think I'll probably be okay. All right. Well, with the review, one of the things I don't cover is the tracking, and I don't cover those functions like the droney and all their kind of DJI like functions. simply because I don't have the room right now to do that. So, but I will be doing that in the future, just to let you guys know that. Would have to update for each battery on the Fimi. Yeah, I'm updating each battery on the Fimi. Just, you know, it's just for me that's just the way I do that. I just want to make sure. So that's one thing that's not going to have in the review. But other than that, I'm really going to cover an awful lot in there. All right, we're going to touch a lot of bases in there, and a lot of things. And I think you guys will be very pleased with this review. So, like I said, stay tuned for it. It's going to be a little longer than my normal videos, but I think it's going to be real worth your while to watch this. It's you know, I'll say this, and this is about the only spoiler part that I'm going to put in this here. All right, run over to Bass Pro Shops and pick up a small boat. Drop in from. I like that, Steven. That sounds good. That really sounds good. Although I got to say this, being in the water in Florida, okay, and I'm talking about, not talking about like the bay or the ocean or the Gulf, all right. You know, your chances of running into critters are very high. And what I mean by critters are gators and snakes. They said, you know, if there's a body of water here in the state of Florida, chances are real good you're going to have gators in there, and chances are real good you're going to have snakes in there. And there's a particularly nasty snake called a water moccasin. They're very aggressive. They do have a poisonous bite, and yeah, so we're not going to go there as far as that's concerned. One of the things on the review that that I am going to cover is, it's like I said, it's going to be detailed. It's going to be in depth here, and I think you guys will really appreciate it. And for me, this has been a very pleasant surprise as a drone. I pretty much knew what I was getting into, especially hearing from Marcus. No guts, no glory. Hi, Scott. Welcome tonight. Yeah, Michael, you'll like it. It's gonna be real good. I did put some time into this, so I'm gonna be putting the pieces together, editing it probably tomorrow night. It'll probably be out either Thursday or Friday. So look forward to that. And I'm desperately trying to get my buggy video together. You guys will like that too. I had a lot of fun with that. Just an absolute total lot of fun. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about the Fimi X8 SE 2020 is I have some accessories. Now, I'm still waiting on a couple from Banggood. God bless them. But one of the ones that I want to talk about is the YX intelligent charger. And you can see right here, all right, that's something you can charge up to 4 batteries, and there's 2 USB slots, and there's no hole in the bottom, but there is a built-in fan inside here. And from the reviews that I've seen about it, this does work very well. Now, I've got my batteries in a state where it can be charged. Now, what's nice about this is, you can charge you can charge right here. You can charge your controller, and you can also charge your smartphone from this too. So this is an all-in-one solution. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a standalone video by itself. But I'm anxious to see how this works, because the only other way to charge batteries more than once is to buy another one of their chargers from Fimi, and I got to go either to Banggood or to AliExpress because Amazon really doesn't have them. And that's another thing. When I got this off of Amazon, and there is a link in the description to get this. These are hard to find, all right, on Amazon. And a lot of the Fimi X8 SE 2020 accessories and the drone itself is hard to find on Amazon as well too. So, but this will be coming up probably next week sometime. I'll be doing a review on this, so look forward to that as well. Several years of villa rental spent over there. It worries me even walking around the garbage bin through the grass. Stephen Ewing, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's just like, when I go out, we take the dog out in the backyard. And the backyard faces our lake property back there. It's every single time I go out there, thank goodness we have a lawn. We have a guy that comes in and cuts our lawn. Okay, I'm 62, guys. I've paid my dues for cutting grass. All right, I'm in the cutting grass retirement club. All right, Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things for me. Done. History. Not going there again. But you got to watch in the grass. And when I go out to fly, all right, if the grass has any kind of length to it, that's why we like to keep it, not short, but so you can see through it, because they kind of like to loiter when the grass is thick. So when it's real thick, I really am uber careful when I go out there. And especially when we take the dog out too, because she knows when things are awry as far as that's concerned. Smart controller. When is it going to happen? Well, you know what, Drone Addict, we're going to be talking about that coming up here. Like, let's say, okay, we finished up the we finished up with the I'm sorry, the Fimi X8 SE 2020. Talk about the Mavic Air 2. Now, that is probably the number one topic right now. It's called cement, Stephen Ewing. I like that. All right. Trust me, I'm tempted. I am real tempted with that, okay? Because, down here in Florida, we have irrigation systems. I never, coming from Ohio for the last 30 years before I moved down here, it's like I got to deal with an irrigation system now. And we're having a leak under our patio, so they got to pull up part of the pavers on our patio, and I don't even want to know. I'm just hearing dollar signs, and it scares the daylights out of me. All right, Mavic Air 2. All right. If you guys seen my latest video, if you haven't, please go out there and see it. I can't say enough about this drone. I mean, seriously, go out and see this video, okay? Now, I downloaded it to YouTube in 4K. I don't always do that, all right? I know a lot of guys, every one of their videos, every one of their uploads is 4K to YouTube, all right? I only do select ones out there. This one was worth it, all right? So trust me, if you guys get a chance, go out and see it. It's really, it's a good one, all right? Oh, David, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it makes it easier for me as well, too. And I think it makes it easier when people watch it during the replay, because they know what's coming up. And, it's just, it makes a whole lot of sense. So David, I appreciate that suggestion. Thank you very much here. Now for the $60,000 question here, the smart controller, Mavic Air 2. All right. It's just like that's the number one thing. That's the number one question I get during the week is, when are we going to see the firmware update for that? And I know Lauren has told us in the past, he said, and with good reason, DJI wants to, you're going to be going through a couple of iterations of some firmware updates for the Mavic Air 2. They want to make sure things are stable with the drone, with the platform, before they come out and they introduce anything else. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, being a software tester for the past 10 years, plus years, close to probably 15. God, I don't even want to think about that anymore. When you take something, so a new piece of software, and introduce it into an existing environment, okay, you have to test that out. And that's what I do for a living, all right? Now, Steve Mack, thank you so much. Cement torch a yard. I love that. I'll put that in my piggy bank for that, Steve. Thank you. All right. You can only, but you can only test so much. So really what ends up happening here is we end up, even after it's passed all the muster, is, we end up really being the beta testers. All right. Once, we actually get the drone, and we go through a couple of iterations of firmware updates. Usually there's one fairly quickly and probably a few weeks out before, and then there's a waiting period, right? Because, the one issue that I know and that I've heard of that's been coming up with the Mavic Air 2 is, the batteries issue. Now, I know Bill Thomas from Coast to Coast Drones, by the way, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., Drone Therapy. Make sure you guys check out Bill's show. He had, he had battery issues, and Thank goodness DJI is taking care of them. Now, and this has been sporadic, and I've heard some things about that. The other thing that I have heard is there's been a little bit of some transmission issues, not much. I've gotten a couple of comments on that, but mostly some battery related concerns regarding this. And I haven't seen lately in the past week or so about this, so kind of stay tuned for that. Oh, Punta Gorda. Oh, okay, very good, very good. Drone lovers of the world. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat. I'm going to digress for a second here. I'm sorry. All right. First time I was going down the West Coast in Florida, all the way down to where you have to take Alligator Alley over to get over to Fort Lauderdale. All right, and we're passing some other towns, and I keep going to Valerie, is in a joking manner. Where's Del Boca Vista? Okay, you guys probably know Del Boca Vista. All right, I don't have to tell you what that is. If I do, you probably haven't been born. You're probably a little too young. It's from Seinfeld, guys. And I hope most of you probably know that. But I mean, it's just like I couldn't pass that up. Every time I think of Punta Gorda, I think of Del Boca Vista. What a name to come up with for a town. All right, I've digressed here. I'm sorry. All right, we're on the Mavic Air 2. So with all that being said, all right, you go through these iterations of cycles. People are out there testing. Things are kind of stable right now for the Mavic Air 2. There really hasn't been a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot the past week on things. I'll get people ping me on my Facebook page and be asking me questions, and and I'll get emails. I get them every day, and I try to get back to them. But I haven't seen anything lately on that, so that's a good thing. What battery issue? Bill Thomas had a battery issue, Lauren, with his Mavic Air 2. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but it may have been almost, I don't know if it was swelling or what. He thinks they may have been damaged, but DJI ended up replacing them. I wish Bill was in the chat tonight because he could be able to explain what that was. I'm not 100% sure about that. So, but other than that, I mean, there really hasn't been a whole lot going on with the Mavic Air 2, and that's a good thing, and that's a good sign. And we're coming towards the end of July. Now, that's when I've heard some batteries are melting in the back. Okay, Drone Master, thank you for posting that. Okay. And apparently, I think that's probably what happened with Bill. They were swelling on the end by the connector. Sam, thank you. Thank you guys for filling me in on that. Appreciate that. So with all that said on that, I think it's, we've reached a point in the process here with this that, we're coming to the end of the month. And, I've kind of heard, some ramblings from Lauren, that it's probably going to be closer to the end of the month. And, right now, today's what, the 21st, we're getting there. We're about 10 days away from the end of the month. So, maybe next week or so we'll be seeing it. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to get that downloaded and be outside so fast it'll make your head spin. And the only thing that's going to keep me away is precipitation and lightning. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to keep me away from being able to go outside after I download that, because I'm just so anxious. Guys, I have to say this, all right? If you don't have the smart controller, then DeMarco, this isn't a message directed at you, but it kind of is. Guys, you need to get it, okay? I just can't say enough. It's my favorite DJI accessory. It's just simple, hands down. It makes the flying experience from going to great to like absolutely exceptional. That's my only adjective that I could use to describe that. I really would. The 100-degree heat would swell in a battery. Always do your pre-check. And Stephen Ewing, we're going to be talking about that here in a minute. Okay. considering the number of batteries that are always, it's good to be a percent. Yeah, you're probably right, Lauren. So that's where we are with the Mavic Air 2 right now. I'm not, like I said, it's just going to be one of those things. Yeah, it's just like you get your garden variety afternoon thunder shower here at 4 o'clock, and then by 4:30 it's dry outside, and and then the humidity goes up to about 99% after that. So it's just, yeah, drone flight, you're gonna love it. I guarantee you that you will absolutely love it. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about next was, the temperatures. And I looked today, the temperature map, not only here in Florida, but across the United States. In California, it's like insanely hot over there right now. And in Arizona, I mean, they're over 100, 110 out there. And in Las Vegas, it's well over 100 every day. And, even the Pacific Northwest, I mean, it's just absolutely insanely hot right now. So how do you fly your drone when it's hot outside? All right. Now, probably, the schools of thought, and I know, and I watched a little bit of Drone Nation last night, and Marcus had said, one of the things that he does is he sits in his air-conditioned car and he keeps the batteries in there between flights, which is a smart thing. That's one of the things that you can do. Now, one of the other things that I think, and I know he's talked about it, and I know other people have talked about it, is your phones get extremely hot out there. All right. Now, it's 90 degrees outside and you're out and there's no shade, right? And, it's beating down on that phone. It's going to get hot. It's going to get really, really hot out there. Now, I did some research last year, and I did do some looking. Now, a lot of people have even resorted to carrying little coolers around with ice packs in them to put their phones in there to kind of cool things down and whatnot, which you can do. But one of the things that I saw, and I got this idea, I've always been interested. I wanted to become a private pilot, and there's a story involved with that, but I'm not going to share that. I'll share that with you some other time on the channel update sometime, guys. All right. Or maybe I'll do a separate clip on that for all of you. But be that as it may. All right. I have an interest in general in private planes. All right. I probably wanted to get my own private plane and be able to fly. The freedom to be able to fly anywhere is just incredible. Okay. There's no TSA. There's no going through all that stuff. But anyway, right. One of the things that I did, I follow several channels on YouTube. And one of the things that I found, a lot of private pilots, in fact, they use iPads to help them with navigation, with weather. There's a score of different apps that they use. And they're very dependent. They found that they've become very dependent upon these iPads to provide them this data. Now, one of the things that can happen with the iPad, now you got to remember, a lot of these private planes, they're not air conditioned, all right? Your Cessnas and Cirrus planes and so forth, not air conditioned. So, it's going to be, you got air circulating in there and it's, relatively cool, but it's not air conditioned and the sun's going to be coming through. I mean, especially, and, that iPad's going to get hot and heat up. Now, there is actually a solution for this, okay? There's a company called X-Naut, N-A-U-T. And I'm going to run a short clip. It's about a minute long, and I want you to take a look at it. It's a cooling solution for an iPad. So let's go ahead. Give me a minute here. We're going to get this up. We're going to get this shared here. Okay. You know, this is some incredible technology here, guys. And I hate to tell you this, incredible technology, and I know, I know what you're going to say. Incredible technology comes with an incredible price, and it sure does. You know, that's one of the things with this, you're going to pay for it. All right. Now, you know, well, the thing about this is it works. All right. Let's see if I can find pricing here. We're going to shop the Pilot series. You see they're right around. iPad Mini cooling case with a knee board is $219. iPad 9.7 cooling case with a knee board is $239. And iPad 10.5 it's $239. It's around $240 for this. All right. Now, if you are, let's say, I'll pick my good friend, Original Devo, Ken. You know, he's out every day doing this stuff here. You know, real estate photography, or a lot. That's his, you know, that's his other job. And my God, the guy just he has gone from a novice to an expert, and it's incredible watching some of his real estate videos. It's just mind-boggling what he's done, not only both outside but inside. But anyway, you know, this is who, you know, this is who something like this is primary for, and you can't, you know, and you can't balk at a price like this because it's part of the, you know, it's part of your business. It's part of something that can make a difference for you when you're out in the field. And if you're a hobbyist, and if you're, let's say, I'll look at it this way. Elastic band and a frozen gel pack will work for me, Stephen Ewing. Well, you know, I tell you what, OtterBox makes something like that too. It's not, it's made the exact dimensions of an iPad to fit on the back, and I think there's some Velcro on it and whatnot. But I think, you know, there are solutions out there. You know, smart controller that has internal cooling. Yeah, that's a good thing. Good thing, Lon. Thank you for mentioning that. You know, the smart controller does have internal cooling on that, but for other solutions here, you know, using an iPad, this is an alternate for you guys to think about, and I think it's something. Things are really heating up, Ron. Okay, thanks, on you get. Ron Braun is in the house. Ron, how are you this evening? Good luck with Mikey tonight. Hope you can keep him in check. I don't think anybody but you could possibly even get close to that. But you know, this is a potential solution that I wanted to make you guys aware of. You know, it's an outside the box solution because this is really, it was geared more toward private pilots. But as you can see in the video, you can even mount it on you know, a Phantom 4 controller. It will work. So you know, it is a possible solution for that. Is that it's going to be heavy. You're going to need your lanyard when you have something like that. But it's out there. There are solutions out there for that. Because I know I had my iPad Mini last year shut down on me. I was in the middle of landing my Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, and it shut down completely. All right. And when the thing's shutting down, it was landing, you know, it was returned to home precision, and it did its thing. There wasn't any issues. Okay. And you know that if it disconnects while in flight, you know, that's not a problem. It's going to return to home. You still have the return to home button on your remote. So that's never, that wasn't a problem. So, but I wanted to go out there and make sure that you guys know about that as well. And also your batteries. And I think Marcus had a good point. You know, if you can keep your, you know, Sarah comes with him a lot of times as he's flying, and he leaves, you know, he can leave those batteries in the car. He can leave the car running, and Sarah can stay in the car. You know, to do something like that. You know, there are all kind of possible solutions, but you know, they had Al Duran on last night, and he talked about only using 50% of the battery and then coming back, which is a good thing. Plan your flights accordingly, especially when the weather's warmer, and the other thing I can tell you is this, and the other tip before we move on here is don't loiter. And what I mean by loiter is, you're deciding what you're going to do here. Oh, you want to take pictures. Oh, you want to do hyperlapse. Have your mind made up. Know what you're going to do, because, the longer that drone loiters, the drone needs to be moving for the air in order to cool it down. It's going to get hot. It's going to get hot very quickly. So, know what you're going to do ahead of time, especially on a hot day when you do that. And another piece of advice, if you can try to stay in the shade, stay in the shade. Like I said, a lot of times I'll fly from out, I'll get things set up. I'll go under my porch. I mean, it's kind of like I got to do that. I absolutely have to do that. I'm just looking at the chat here. If you put your LiPo bags in the freezer the night before, they'll keep the batteries cool on hot days. Stephen Ewing, that's a great tip. Thank you for that. Stephen, you're a fountain of knowledge tonight in the chat. Thank you so much. Everybody give a hand for Stephen Ewing. He's coming up with some great advice in the chat tonight. You've been spot on. You must have had your caffeine for the day. Okay, that's incredible. That really is. That's so good as far as that's concerned. Well, it's and with everything that's going on and everything right now, it's just like wanted to talk about some other things right now. Kind of like we're still talking about drones, but I would get the smart controller Crystal Sky 750 iPad plus the cooler plus the screen won't even be as bright. To each their own, though. Yeah, that's Lon. Yeah, that's a point. I mean, it's like some people are very comfortable with their iPad, and they may be, it could be. There are a lot of believe it or not, there are a lot of private pilots that actually have drones and do a lot of drone flying. I do know several of them, and that's where I got a lot of info about the test, about the Part 107 test. So as far as that's concerned. Now, I've heard absolutely a big fat zilch zero about the Mavic 3. That's the other question that I've got several times this week. I've heard that. There's been nothing at all about that. So, I'm sure that when the news breaks and when we get some information, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, and you guys know, you've been watching me for a while. The first thing that'll come out there, it'll hit the FCC Grant ID database, and I would say within 30 days it will be out. But there's nothing about that right now. Hay was talking September, but then they talked that it was a DJI agricultural drone, so it may be October, November kind of a time frame. Who knows? Who knows as far as that time frame is concerned? One of the other things that I wanted to talk about too is I've had a lot of people ask me a question, Bill. The Mavic Mini is a great drone, but this Fimi X8 SE 2020 is a great drone. What should I get? Trying to compare those two. Well, I'm going to be doing a video on that, but and I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler alert here. All right. The Fimi X8 SE 2020 can handle some decent wind up there. All right. And when I say decent wind, about 20 plus miles an hour, it's still good. All right. It's not great, but it's good. It's not as good as like the Mavic 2 or the Phantom 4 Pro. Well, Mavic Air is pretty good with the wind too, but it's close. All right. 20, 25 mile an hour, it can handle that. Anything over 25, it's going to have some issues, especially when it's trying to find that coming down and landing. Okay. And I've had that before. Now the Mavic Mini, if it's over 15 to 20, forget it. I mean, it's 249 grams. And that's one of the things that I try to tell people to realize the size of that drone. That's why Lauren is avoiding us. He'll tighten the thumb screws for inside information. That's right. He's under, as Mikey says, he's under DNA right now. So, Lauren, we love you. Okay. I hope you know that. We're just picking on you, and it's good to pick on you. Ron Brown, it's nice to see you in the chat tonight. Thank you for showing up. Again, Ron's going to be on here with Mikey in just a few. So if you guys need to wake up some more, just watch the Philly and Ron show coming up at about 9:10 tonight. That's all I got to say. You guys will not be disappointed with all that. Okay, trust me on that. What part of Ohio? Are you talking? Oh, okay. I was in Hot Rod in Daytona. Oh, I lived in Columbus, Ohio for 30 years. In fact, that's where I've lived the longest in my life. Okay. I was in Pittsburgh for about 20. I was in Ohio for about 30, and I've been down here coming up. It's going to be, it was 2011. I moved down next year. It's going to be 10 wonderful years being married to my beautiful bride, Valerie. It's coming up next February, my 10th anniversary, and I keep getting this, boy, I'd really like to go to Jared's. And I said, boy, I'd really like to have money to take you to Jared's. So give generously to Bill the Drone Reviewer. That's all I got to say. I need a little bit of a slush fund for that, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to be in deep trouble next February. No, I'm just kidding. But I would like to get her something nice. She deserves it. She puts up with me, so what can I say? And she's still with me, okay? It's been 9 years, all right? She's still with me. So that says an awful lot there. Hey, Joe, it's nice seeing you tonight. Hope you're doing well. Ron Brown, play the lottery. Absolutely, Ron. That's the only way. Publishers Clearinghouse. You've probably seen the commercials on TV here in the States. Terry Bradshaw, famous Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, Super Bowl champion. Publishers Clearinghouse. But be forewarned, it'll probably take you about 3 hours to fill out the entry because it takes you to about 3,000 different screens. But hey, you could win what, $7,000 a week for life or something along those lines. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, Lon, it still is a thing. They still do that, but it's online now. There's no more stamps, and it used to be. And I'm going to digress here for a second, guys. All right. It used to be the only way you could actually get entered is to buy magazines. I mean, it was like a secret, but they found that out, and the government made them stop doing that. This is, you have to make sure that everybody that enters, whether or not they have they buy a magazine, they get entered into the contest. It was legit. There was a real deal for that. I'll do a house swap for a few weeks for you. Only give you Valentine's vacation, come over your heat. Yeah. Well, you know what, Stephen Ewing, I know that. I have a friend, Stephen, in Southeast. Yeah, Ian Jones. And I know he'll watch me tomorrow morning. He lives in Southeast England. And he's given me a very good clue as to what the weather is like in your neck of the woods around there. So, yeah, as far as being cool is concerned, I could use some of the cool once in a while down here. Now, our cool, it won't hit until about maybe November. All right, is when things finally start to break around here as far as the temperature is concerned. So, but yeah, that's where we're at tonight. That's what we've done. Great show. We got a lot of great things coming up. Guys, I'm about 120 away from 10K subscribers. All right. And we're going to have an incredible celebration. We're going to have an incredible giveaway. I'm going to get together a 10K show. Going to have some great guests on here. Going to get Ron and Marcus, of course, will be on here. I'll try to get probably try to get Kelly, probably try to get Rick Smith, probably try to get Ken, Billy. We're just gonna have a blast that night. It's just gonna be a lot of fun and gonna have a great giveaway. And some of the prizes are gonna be not only a Builder Drone Reviewer shirt, the T-shirt you've seen me, also the polo. Now, polo is it's a cotton polo and that logo is embroidered on there. I mean, and it's just incredible. And they do incredible work. And I get them through Vistaprint. And Build a Drone Reviewer mugs, because I know that's been the #1 requested item from people is mugs. And I know Stephen Ewing, I know you drink. I know you put your favorite beverage in there every day when you do that. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate that. No, it won't be a Fimi X8 SE 2020. You know, if I had the funds, I would consider doing something like that, Sam. Joe, I really would. I would love to be able to do that. Who knows? Maybe I might. Maybe if we get another stimulus check, I might just decide to go ahead and do that as a gesture of goodwill, as far as that's concerned. So, after our show tonight, make sure you catch Ron with Mikey on Philly Drone Life. That's coming up like 9:10, probably less than 10 minutes here. Tomorrow night, Coast to Coast Drones, Drone Therapy with Bill Thomas. Bill puts on a great show. Ron's on there too, so you definitely need to check that out. Ken Heron on Thursdays. Art Code Drone Solutions. Art is on Saturdays at 7 o'clock. Art put out a new video, okay? And his video is with Sean Oz. You need to watch it. It's a good video, right? Very, very good video. That was great. Sean's a class guy. I got to say that. And kudos to you, Sean, for being there for Art. That's awesome. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that here in the drone community. You know, Sunday nights, Mel is on, I think around 7 o'clock, because Tennessee's a time zone over, so I'm not 100% sure, but he's on. Lloyd, the Grumpy Vlogger, is on at 8 o'clock on Monday nights. And then, of course, Drone Nation with our very own Ron Brown and Marcus Crawford. That's on Monday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern. And, of course, you know, we're on every Tuesday night here. So, guys, it's been great. It's been a great evening. Put the links in. You know what, Hot Rod? Let me go ahead and do that before we sign off. I will go ahead and find these links here for you guys. Let's go to... I'm gonna do Philly Drone Life, because that's the show that's upcoming right now. It is at 9:10, so let's go ahead and drop that link in here so you guys can have that. Move any web addresses and try. Okay, I'm in the wrong thing here. All right, here we go. Steve Mack, thank you. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in here. There we go. There's your link to Philly and Ron. I'll drop other ones in the description. Oh, really, Hot Rod? Send me an email at buildadronereviewer@gmail.com. That'd be great. That would be absolutely awesome. Hope everybody had a great time tonight. Thank you so much for a great chat. Appreciate that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the way out. I've been having I've been trolled a lot lately. So, you know, anytime you hit that, smash that like button, that sends a nice message to the trolls, they are not welcome here, but, you guys are always welcome here. Hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Please be safe. And I'm going to say this as a public service announcement, okay? This isn't political, guys. Do your social distancing, wear your masks, okay? And vaccines are coming, therapeutics are coming. Let's move on from this stuff. I want to be able to enjoy things, and I think you guys want to as well too. But hope everybody stays safe, and remember, as always, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.